Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to host a static website on AWS S3 using Terraform. So let's get started. So as usual, I have just created one simple folder named TF. You can name it whatever you feel like. I have created a .env file which requires your access key as well as access key ID as well as secret access key. Here I have just entered some dummy value, but you should enter some proper values, otherwise this will not work for you. Then I have just created one simple index.html file, as you can see over here, and we are just referencing that HTML file with the help of this particular CSS. So here you can see this is just a simple CSS file which I have created, so nothing new. Then you will have to go to this main.tf file over here. So I'll just close everything. Now as usual, we'll go through the documentation, we'll copy bunch of code and try to understand what exactly we are trying to do over here. Okay, so over here we just first need to go to this particular documentation, and we can just go to this use provider. I can just copy paste this particular bit of code over here, copy this, and I'll paste it over here. So first, as you can see, we are using this Terraform required providers. Okay, then as you can see, we have just copy pasted. Then we are using AWS source equal to HashiCorp AWS. Then we have provided the version. Okay, and we also need to use this provider AWS. So here inside this provider AWS, we can specify a region where we want to host it. Again, this is in the documentation itself, so I'm not doing anything new. So I will just provide AP Southeast -1 because that is more close to me. Then there is another thing called random. So I will just go to HashiCorp, and here I'll just search for random as well, because while creating the S3 bucket we require some random things, that's why. And here you can see we can just copy this. We have already created this Terraform required provider, so we don't need this again. So we can just use this random. I'll just copy this. Okay, and inside required providers I can paste it over here, command V. So this is done as well. Then there is another thing which you should go through this particular documentation, like setting the permission for website access. So if you see, we need to disable this, like disable uncheck this block all public access, and the second one is add this particular bucket policy as well. So these two things needs to be done, so be careful. I'll explain you once we go through it. Again, now I'll just go back to that AWS documentation which we had. Now the next thing, okay, sorry, one more thing. If you come over here to the random click on documentation over here, if you see, we need to use this random ID. So here you can see they have just given sample examples of how to use it. Now I think there are a lot of things. I don't look for random password, maybe. Yeah, random bytes maybe might make more sense in our case, or random ID maybe. Let's see. Okay, random ID I think gets makes more sense. So what we can do is we can just copy paste this code. Okay, and we can paste it over here. Now we don't require this keeper, so I'll just remove this. Okay, sorry, something like this. Okay, and here we have this random underscore ID, and for this I will give the name as rand underscore ID. You can keep it as server, but server does not make any sense in my case, and the byte length is 8. Okay, so that's it. That's job done for random. Like I said, we will be using this random thing for our AWS S3 bucket name, because naming S3 buckets is quite difficult. Now I'll just go back to this AWS thing, and here we can just search for AWS S3 object. So yeah, here, so we need to create an object, right? So for that we can just copy paste this code and paste it over here. Now we need to make few changes. So first we need to upload index.html. Next we need to upload styles.css. So first we have this AWS S3 object. Now this name as object does not make sense, so I'll just change it to index underscore html. You can't use index.html over here. This is just a name which we can use internally inside our code, that's why. Then we have to specify the bucket name, right? So for that we haven't defined the bucket yet. So if you want, we can just define the bucket first. So I'll just keep it as it is. Let's see how to define the bucket. So for that, again, just scroll up. You can just search over here AWS S3 bucket. Like as you can see, even I am referring the documentation. No one remembers all this thing. AWS S3 bucket. Okay, see all. Not this one. I'll just go back. AWS documentation. I think I need to search it over here. S3. I'll click over here. Okay, so as you can see, I can again just copy paste this entire thing and I'll just paste it over here. So we have this AWS S3 bucket. Then we can give it some bucket name, like this is just an internal name. This is not the actual bucket name. So I can just give it as my web app bucket. Then this is the actual, again I don't require tags, so I can just remove it. And this is the actual bucket name, right? So for that I can just again give this as my web app dash bucket. Okay, I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. Now someone inside AWS might have used this bucket name, so just to be on the safer side, I will just append this ID as well. So dollar curly brace, and here we can just use random. So this one random underscore ID dot rand underscore ID. So I'll just copy this dot hex as well. I'll command S to save. Okay, so this is done. Then let's come back to this particular code. So first is our bucket name, right? So it would be AWS S3 bucket. So I can just remove this AWS S3 bucket dot, and this was the bucket internal name, right? My web app bucket dot bucket. Then what should be the key? It should be index.html. What should be the source? Or the path, it is located in the root itself, right? So I can just write dot slash index.html. And what should be the content type? Content type is very important, because otherwise if you try to upload and visit the URL, it will actually download your file and it will not show it inside your browser. So that's why we have to write content type. So here we can write just text slash html, and I can just remove this particular bit of code as well. Okay, so now same thing I will just copy it for CSS as well. So command C, I'll do command V AWS S3 object, and here I can just do styles underscore CSS, and here we have this bucket. So AWS S3 bucket. So yeah, the bucket name is fine, and here we just need to use styles.css. So I can just do styles.css, and I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. And here we need to write text slash css. Okay, so this is fine. Then like I mentioned, there are some AWS S3 policies. So first one is the public access block. If you see over here, so this one, right, public access block. So how you want to disable this? uh, so for that, again I don't remember all these things, so I will just search for AWS S3 bucket public access block, public access. Okay, so here you can see this is the thing. I'll just copy it and I will just paste it over here. Okay, so we don't require this, we already have a bucket. I'll just remove this. So here we have a resource AWS S3 bucket public access block, and here you can, yeah, if you want you can change this name. I'll just keep it as it is. Then here is our bucket AWS S3 bucket, and here instead of this it should be my web app bucket. So I'll just copy this, and here I'll just paste it, and dot id. Okay, this is fine. Now here instead of true I need to make everything as false. We need to disable it, right, so that we everyone can have public access to our website. So I'll just paste it over here as well as over here. So I'll just do command s. Okay, then we need to create another uh, so this part is done. If you see in the documentation, this part is done. Now we need to do this particular part, right? So for this particular part there is another thing called AWS S3 bucket, and here we will just do policy. Okay, AWS S3. Am I not able to see this? Okay, so here it is. I don't think their search is working properly, but anyways I'll just again copy this and I'll paste it over here. Again, I don't require S3 bucket, I already have it. I don't require this as well, allow access from other account. I don't know why this is, and I can just remove this. And here AWS S3, I think I might have copied the wrong thing. Okay, I'll just remove this. Sorry about this, I might have copied the wrong thing. Let's see, AWS S3 bucket policy. I'm not giving. Okay, sorry, this is the part. This is the correct part. Okay, so I'll just copy this. So what we have copied was correct, but yeah, we don't require I got confused, like this allow access from other account. That's why I can just name this as my web app. You can name it whatever you feel like. Again, this is our AWS S3. Again, I'll just copy this particular part and I'll paste it over here. My bucket.id, my web app bucket.id. Okay, and here we have this policy. So now we need to write this particular policy, right? If you see over here, it is in JSON format. So what I can do is I can just do JSON encode. I'll just okay, then if you see we have this curly braces. So I'll just copy everything and I'll paste it over here. But unfortunately the problem is Terraform does not understand this entire thing. So first thing, what change we need to do, for every key we need to remove the double quotes. So I'll just remove this, I'll remove this. Okay, and I'll remove this as well. I'll remove this, 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 this part, and this part. Okay, and the other thing is, instead of colon we have to use equal to sign. So instead of colon, equal to over here, equal to over here, over here as well, over here, 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 and over here. Okay, so I think that should be it. Some of the people also remove this particular array thing, but let's keep it as it is for now. If this doesn't work, then we can remove the array thing. But I think I'll try to keep it as it is possible. So I'll just do command s to save it. I'll just improve the indentation a bit. Okay, okay, I think okay, yeah, this looks okay. I'll do command s to save. Now let's try to do Terraform in it and try to then apply it. Okay, sorry, I forgot one more thing. So there are two more things which I would like to do. So first one is there is another thing called AWS S3 bucket website configuration. So we need to do that as well. So let me try searching for it. I don't know why this search is not working for me. Website configuration S3. So yeah, this one. So again over here I'll just copy this particular part and I'll paste it over here. So inside this, again here you can just write it as my web app or whatever you feel like is correct for you. Again, this should be the bucket ID. So I'll just copy this from over here and I'll paste it over here. Then here we have the index document, which is index.html. We don't have an error document. I'll just remove this. We don't have routing rules as well, so I can just remove this as well. So yeah, now there is one more thing which I want to do is, once our website has been hosted properly, I need to get the URL wherever index.html is located, so that it is printed directly inside Terraform. I don't have to visit our AWS console. So what we can do is, we can just do output name. I'll add curly braces over here. I'll assign it some value equal to AWS S3 bucket website configuration. So I'll just paste it over here, which we have dot, and here we have sorry, my web app, right? So this is the name which I have given, my web app dot website endpoint. Like, I'm not able to see this. Okay, so this one. Okay, so yeah, something like this. Now let's try to do Terraform in it. Hopefully this works. Okay, so let's just wait for this to finish. In case if you are, when we are trying to do Terraform plan or Terraform apply, for some reason if the command hangs or nothing is happening, I have made a separate video about how to resolve those issues. So yeah, if you are interested, you can check that out as well. Especially this happens on M1 Mac or the M series of Mac, like M1, M2, M3. So hopefully this should be done pretty soon. Okay, so here you can see this is done. I'll clear everything out. Then we need to run Terraform plan. Okay, so let's just wait. Hopefully this also works. Also, one more thing, if you are facing issues, I have installed the VS Code Terraform extension as well, so which can give you proper highlighting for your code. So yeah, you can do that as well. And there is one more thing which you can do is, that is install this AWS extension, which you can just download it from VS Code again and sign in using your access key as well as access key ID as well as secret access key. So yeah, make sure you do that as well. So my Terraform plan was succeeded. In case if you are facing any issue, make sure you run this source.env as well, and then try to do Terraform plan. Now I have already done this, so I'll just do now Terraform apply, because Terraform plan was successful. If you want to see what Terraform plan does, it shows you, it will plan to add 7 new things. So if you want, you can go through this. I'll just do Terraform apply. Hopefully this works. So let's wait for this to finish. So yeah, it is asking me, so I'll just press yes over here, type yes over here and click enter, and it will create the bucket for me. And it should also give us the URL where the bucket is hosted, so that we can access it wherever we feel like. So let's just wait. Feel free to fast forward the video if you like. Okay guys, so there is one mistake which I did. As you can see, this has failed for me. So the mistake was here, we need to add our own bucket name. So we can just do dollar curly braces, and here we can just do AWS S3 underscore bucket dot my web app dash bucket, because that was the name of our thing, dot id. Hopefully this works. Let's try to do Terraform apply again, or I'm not sure if we need to do Terraform init again, given that we have changed. Let's see. Okay, so it has created the resource for us, and here you can see this is the URL. So I can just copy paste this particular URL Hopefully this works. I'll just open it in a new tab, and here you can see it has displayed hello world for us. So yeah, that's how you can do it. Make sure you destroy once you have completed all this. So I will just destroy this as well. Otherwise you will be charged unnecessarily for usage of all these things. So yeah, make sure you destroy things as well. So yes, okay, and it has destroyed everything. I can just do command R, and here you can see bucket not found. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.